Next topic is sequential covering algorithm. Yes. Second topic is sequential covering algorithm. As I already told, the sequential covering algorithm, as the name itself indicates, it is going to learn one rule at a time. Means it is going to consider the complete data set. In that complete data set, line by line, it is going to formulate the rule and iterates this process until it gets the final rule. So first it is going to consider the first row of a data set. It is going to formulate a rule. Then it moves to the second row of the data set and it is going to remove the first row. So like this, it is going to perform up to all the rows that is being present in the data set and remove the previous or previously gone through rows in the data set, and finally it is going to occur to the final rule. So that is a sequential covering algorithm. So if I define, the sequential covering algorithm learns one rule, it removes the data it covers, then iterates this process. So this is known as sequential covering algorithm. So now we are going to consider a subroutine. So in a subroutine, we are going to consider and learn one rule subroutine. What is meant by learn one rule subroutine and what it is going to do it? So here in learn one rule subroutine, as I already told, it is going to consider one row by one row. One after the other, single rows it is going to cover in a complete data set. It accepts the set of positive and the negative training examples as an input and it performs the computation. It formulates the rule for that particular row and then outputs a single rule for that particular row and gives the many positive examples and few negative examples, and remaining, that is a previously covered rows, are being removed. It is not going to consider. That's why we say that in a sequential covering there is no backtracking process. Why? Because it would have removed that complete row. Suppose if you consider, so this is the first row, so it is going to, the machine is going to go through the first row of a training example. It is going to formulate the rule for it. Next, when it moves to the second row, it would have removed this complete row. So when the machine, it wants to perform the backtracking, why the backtracking is performed? In order to reduce the error, correct? So when it performs the backtracking, so there will be no previously stored training examples in the memory of a machine. So that's why we say that there is no backtracking process in a sequential covering algorithm. So let's consider the subroutine of an learn one rule, where it considers a positive. What is meant by a positive? The target output is yes. So suppose if I consider the Enjoy Sport database, the target output is positive, means the Enjoy Sport is yes. When the target output is negative, means the Enjoy Sport is no, right? So that is meant by positive and a negative examples, where you have a target output as positive and negative. So in a learn one rule, it is going to consider both the positive and the negative examples as an input, but whereas it performs the computation, it formulates the rule row by row, that is sequentially, and outputs more positive examples and less negative examples. That's why we say that learn one rule subroutine, it is having a high accuracy prediction for the positive but low coverage, since it is going to cover most of the positive examples and less of the negative examples. That's why we say that it is having more highly accurate prediction, but whereas with a low coverage. So here the learn one rule subroutine, when it is invoked, it covers some positive examples and removes it from the input processing, and then the second example is considered, and this process is going to be iterative. The sequential covering algorithm, it is going to consider the disjunction. So this symbol, it is of a disjunction. Here it is going to consider a disjunction symbol. What is meant by disjunction? It is in OR. How the OR is going to work? When any one of the condition is 1, then the output is going to be 1. So that is 1 plus 1 is 1 plus 1 is 1. 1 plus 0 is 1, 0 plus 1 is 1. So that is an OR condition. So what is a drawback? Now let's see the drawback of this sequential covering algorithm. The drawback of a sequential covering algorithm is it is going to perform the greedy search. Now, what is meant by greedy search? Greedy search, it is nothing but searching through a complete database and considering an line by line or a row by row, in the sense a single row it is going to consider, and it is going to find the optimum minimal, that is called as a local minimum. So local minimum at each row in order to find the global minimum. So let's understand the process. So we know that these are the rows I told. So a greedy search, it is going to go through the row by row. Okay, so since it is a sequential covering, so drawback is greedy search. Since a sequential covering, it is row by row. So first row it is considered. It is going to find the local minimum here. Local minimum, it is to find out the less error attribute. So it is going to find the less error attribute here. So the same way for the second row, same way for the third row, same way for the fourth row. In order to find what? In order to arrive at the global minimum. So what is a global minimum? While explaining the artificial neural network, I have explained what is meant by global minimum. Global minimum, it is nothing but where you have the zero error or the least error. So that is known as a global minimum. So greedy search, it is going to perform, it is used in order to perform the optimal solution, or in the sense a local minimum at each stage in the sense in each and every row in order to find the global minimum. So this is a good thing, but it is a lengthier process. And when you get a global minimum, suppose if the still error is not zero, suppose if you think that error is not zero, then you have to perform the backtracking. What is meant by backtracking? Again, you will return back to each and every training examples and you will try to analyze each and every attribute value. When you go back and try to analyze each and every attribute value, you will not be having any training examples that is stored in the memory of a machine. So why? Because that is a sequential covering. The sequential covering is the one row by row it is going to perform, but previously what all the things that is there in the previous training example, it is going to eliminate it. So in that case you can't perform backtracking in order to find the global minimum. So that is a drawback of sequential covering algorithm. So let's see how the algorithm is going to work. So let's see how sequential covering algorithm is going to work it. So I have given in the notes also. So let's see it. So this is my sequential covering algorithm. So previously the same pattern, same way we have studied the algorithm for gradient descent. We have studied for stochastic gradient descent. We have also studied some of the algorithms in an instance based learning. Correct? So the same way now we are going to study the sequential covering algorithm. So how it is written in the same pattern, in the same way you have to write the algorithm. You can't change the algorithm in your own sentences. So how it is there, the same way you have to write it. So sequential covering, it is a keyword here. It is a subroutine, you can say that. Subroutine is what? It is a part of the program. Whenever the function call is performed, so that particular subroutine part is going to be executed. So sequential covering, target attribute. What is meant by target attribute? It is nothing but your target concept, that is your output. Suppose if I consider the Enjoy Sport database, the Enjoy Sport database, yes or no, that is whether the person can enjoy the sport or whether he can't enjoy the sport. So that is my target attribute. Attributes are nothing but you had 6 different attributes, that is sky, you had temperature, you had wind. So all those are attributes. Next, examples. Training examples in the sense you are going to consider here positive examples or negative examples. Threshold here. So threshold, you are going to consider certain threshold. So that is a user defined value. So it can be anything. Now learned rules function. Rule. Learn one rule. So what it is saying in a rule, so it is going to say that, or it is going to call learn one rule. Here learn one rule, again it is a subroutine which is used in a sequential learning. So learn one rule, again the same values are being past. Fine. So target attributes comma example, while performance. So this is a performance subroutine. Performance, it is a user provided subroutine. It is going to evaluate the quality. So quality of a sequential covering. So this covering algorithm learns the rules until it can no longer learn a rule whose performance is above the given threshold. So this is going to indicate the quality of the attribute. So performance, rule, comma, examples. So you suppose I have considered the first row of my training database. First training example I have considered in my database. So that is written in terms of my rule. That is a meaning. Rule comma example means my example, training example, or you can say that my first row of my training example, it is written in the form of a rule. If it is greater than certain threshold, so threshold condition, it is a user defined condition, do learned rules, it is going to be updated. So it is going to be updated as learned rules plus rule. How you used to update your weight, that is wi, it is equals to w plus delta w. The same way, so old rule, it is being changed with the new rule by using a sequential covering. So learned rule, it is equals to learned rule plus rule. So what is a rule here? So this is the rule. So you're updating a learned rule with this rule. Means it is a line by line. First line you have covered. When going to the second line rule plus the first line rule, so that finally you will arrive with a final line. So that is a sequential covering. Okay. So next, examples, it is equal to examples comma examples correctly classified by rule. So next example you are going to move it. First example you have removed it. The meaning of this line is you have removed the previous line. Next, rule, it is equals to rule, learn one rule, target attribute comma example, the same thing is passed. Now learned rule, sort the learned rules according to the performance over examples. So now we are going to sort how many, suppose you have 5 training examples, in the sense you will be having 5 rows in a training example. First row you have defined the rule and you have saved it in an learn rule and you have updated it. Next, it will remove it from the database. Next, it will move to the second row. The second row, again it is going to formulate the rule. Now the learned rule, it consists of second rule plus first rule. Next, it is going to remove the second rule. Next, it is going to move to the third row. Next, again with this third one. Next, it is going to remove it. Next, it is going to move to the fourth row. Again, it is going to formulate the fourth row and again to the fifth. Now out of this, depending upon the performance, it is going to sort it. So which row it is having the best performance? So that is done by a performance subroutine. So sorting, it is done. Then after that, finally it is going to return the rule. So this is about sequential covering algorithm. So understand, here you have only 2 subroutines. One is a learn one rule subroutine. Sequential covering algorithm has 2 subroutine. One is a learn one rule subroutine and the other is a performance subroutine. In a learn one rule subroutine, it is going to return the single rule that covers at least some of the examples, whereas a performance subroutine, it is a user defined subroutine. It is going to measure the quality of it. So that is a sequential covering algorithm. So I'll explain the algorithm again. So in a sequential covering algorithm, so you are going to first define a sequential covering subroutine and you are going to pass the values. In passing the values, you are going to consider here the target attribute example comma threshold. Next, learn rule, you are going to start the function. So rule, it is a variable that is being passed. So to the rule you have defined learn one rule. So you are going to measure the performance. So you have formulated a rule for the particular example. If it is greater than the threshold, you are going to enter into a learned rule and you have updated the rule for the first example, or you can say that the first row. Next example, it is equals to examples minus example correctly classified by the rule. It is going to remove the first one. Next it is going to consider the second one. So again it is going to consider the rule is passed as a parameter here. So rule is here, second one. So learn one rule, the same thing is passed. Again this process is continued. The meaning here, it is just an algorithm, it is not a program, so that it you should understand the iteration process also. It is roughly written by the values. So rule is again passed for the second row if I consider. Next again learned rules, sorting is performed after completing the all the training examples or all the rows. After sorting, the learned rule will be updated, and finally you are going to get one single rule. So that is a best rule with the best hypothesis space. I hope you understood the sequential covering algorithm. Next topic here is issues with sequential covering. So what are the different issues you have in a sequential covering? Let's understand. So issues with sequential covering, you have greedy search. What is meant by greedy search I have already told. Greedy search, it has been performed in order to obtain the local minimum. So local minimum, each of the local minimum, it has been compared in order to get the global minimum. So when you get the global minimum, if your error is not 0, you can't perform the backtracking process. In a sequential covering, all the before covered training examples or the rows are being removed. So that is a drawback here. The greedy search, so no guarantees about the smallest set or best set of rules. So each rule is learnt on a different distribution of the training set. Isn't this a problem? Yes, obviously it is a problem. Definitely skewed to a best set of rules, not the best rules. Yes, in a sequential covering algorithm, we are going to get the set of rules, best set of rules we are going to consider. Suppose I have a 5 training examples in a data set, 5 rows I have in the meaning. Each row one by one we are going to get a rule. We are going to perform the sorting of a process, and we'll get a 5 different set of rules, but we didn't get a best rule since the error is not still reduced here. Now then, how to learn a one rule. So in how to learn a one rule, we will go to the next topic, that is general to specific beam search. I hope you understood the sequential covering algorithm theory part, the theory part, and also the algorithm. So you have to write it in the same way as it is given in the text here. Since it is an algorithm, you can't change the variable names. So this question carries for 10 marks.